What's going on, everyone? Welcome back. I hope everybody's having a great day. All right, guys, we're going back to Apollo 16. All right, first I'm going to show you the original photo. And I'm going to take a little close-up on those rocks, and now they're really rocks. Some of them don't look like rocks at all, and that's before I take you guys into Photoshop. Let's get started. All right, you can see it up here at the top left. It is the AS16-117-1882. That is the ID number. All right, now when you look at this photo, looks like an average moon photo, no big deal. You know, first we're going to have a look at the ground here, where all these instruments are, and then we're going to have a quick look at these mountains. Are they really mountains or something else? All right, now there's a couple things near these tools that they brought up, the astronauts that is, that brought up to the moon. And I want to show you a couple of these little things, and I want to show you a couple of these rocks that do not look natural at all, right? All right, let's have a look at this. All right, right there to the left of this test equipment, look at this. What is that gray object? Notice as well, we have what looks like some kind of weird fudging or masking, even going over the actual testing equipment. That's weird, right? Also take note of, see this line right here? I'm going to go real slow with the small, cursor that I have, but there's a line there, and you can see this right there going around, and I'll show you guys this much better in a moment. And you've got bits and pieces of another object sitting right to the right of this test equipment. That's right, folks. Now, what about this cube that's sitting right here in front of it? What is that? And I'm going to show you guys, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the photo once we get into Photoshop. I'm going to show you that I burned around each of these things to see if one, if they're bigger, or two, that's it. It's just, that's the object and that's it. And three, to show you that you can actually burn through this manipulation. All right. You've got objects right here. Not sure what to make of this object. I'm going to put that right in the middle of the screen for you guys. Right there. Not sure what to make of that. This yellow piece laying right here on the ground. Got two holes in it. You can see one here and one here. See that? What is that? Okay. This rock over here, supposedly it's a rock. It's actually standing up. But notice the very faint lines in this. See, it comes up like this here, comes down, but actually there's a line right there. It's going down into this so-called dirt. This is not dirt, guys. This is manipulation. And you can also see where they went around this thing to try to block it out. But it does have a faint line right here on the right-hand side of it. Right there and going down. You guys will see that a whole lot better, too. The biggest thing I want to show you guys is all the way to this so-called rock. And I don't believe that it's a rock, and you'll see what I mean in a moment. Really crazy. Let me show you the manipulation they've done. They get so careless. I already showed you the test equipment where they kind of went over it. Let me show you this part. This is funny because when I seen this, I was like, oh, come on. Look at this line here. I'm going to put this right in the middle. This object right here. There's a line right here going through. You can see it right there, very faint to the left of this rock. Right there. Just above it is the rest of this test equipment. And you can see it has this like left elbow kind of rounded elbow kind of piece to it, but yet they almost took the whole thing right out of it. Why would they do that? Also take note of this. This is the reason why I don't believe this is a rock. Let me put it in the center, at least a part of it I want to show you. I don't think we can zoom in much more than that, but there we are. Check this thing out. Right there, almost looks like this weird honeycomb kind of thing right here, but they've taken right here some of this manipulation and took most of it out. There's actually a center to that, and it's rounded, or at least an oval shape of something. Yeah, guys, this is no rock. And I'm going to show you something down in here. I'll put that in the middle of the screen. This section right here, there's an actual line. And this right here, this whole section, almost looks like a hieroglyph or something like that in this area. You'll see what I mean with that, too. Now, truthfully, I don't know if it's a hieroglyph. I'm just saying that it has that kind of weird appearance, right? Check out this little square next to this other rock. Of course, I can't put this in the middle of the screen. It's on the left-hand side. I'm going to try to, though. Right there on the left-hand side right here, this big rock. Look at this square-type object sitting right here. Now, again, the cursor's small, and I'll show you that in a minute. And then look at all this clumpiness in the background. See all of this right here? First of all, you can look at it right here. It looks pretty consistent, right? You see the foreground? Look at the back. All clumped out. Where they've done manipulation is something back here in the upper left. Crazy, crazy stuff. Where they really went to town on this thing. Now, again, I'm going to show you some things up in this mountain, especially in this one here, or these hills, call them what you will. Right here on the top of this, right here, and into these hills. You can find a couple things in this area on these hills, but not as much. Also, take note of this now that we're on this area. Look at this right here. Very, very faintly. It almost looks like there's little white arches. See that? It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and it's all white right here. See that? First of all, this is not ground right here. This is a manipulation. I think whatever's white here actually goes it's a lot taller than what it's showing. And it's making it look like, it might be just rocks way off in the distance. All right, let's get into this. Again, what I do is I took this photo, and what I did was burned around all of these items to see maybe they are just a rock and nothing more, right? Okay, let's jump into that. Let's start from right to left. See what we got. All right, check this out. Suddenly now this rock here, you can see what I'm talking about. It's no longer, well, let me just back out just a little bit here. It's no longer simply just one of these weird little rocks. It literally went past this surface right here. But notice how there's a two-tone kind of thing going on here. From here to here. There's this two-tone thing going on. You guys see that? Look at the difference between here, on this top piece. All of a sudden, here, it's different. Just look to the right of it. See the difference. This is not ground. This is manipulation. Now, here's another part. Suppose that this yellow piece, still don't know what that is, and this other weird-looking object laying right here. These things are being covered up. I also want you to take notice of this. This is cool. Notice this area right here. This is the only area inside this area here that is actually the clearest. Let me take these circles back off. See that? That's the clearest area right inside here. That is the clearest. The rest of it, you can see this object almost does this. It's rounded, but appears to have something going off like this. But the rest of that, right here, I'm going to draw the line to it, right there, is the clearest you can find. The rest of it, see it's clear here in the center, or inside this area rather, and then comes down and it's blurred out. Why? Because there's a manipulation over this. So if they can show you small bits and pieces, but you can't see the rest of it, you'll think it's nothing more than a rock. And that's it. Look at these objects right here. I don't know what this is right here. Let's do this. Okay. In fact, we'll leave it like that so you guys can see this much better. Let's move it along to going toward the left here. Look at this. See that? This cube, or whatever this thing is, just happens to be in the ground, and you can see it a little bit better now. Here's this other piece I was telling you guys about. Look at this right here. You can see this outline very faintly doing this and going like that. But there's actually an object, and you're going to see it in a minute, that's doing this. Wait until you see that thing. And again, this object, I don't know what to make of this. This to me is cool. This looks like some kind of fabricated steel or something of that sort, right? Check that out. And there's much more to this. You can see there's like bits and pieces of what look like mechanical stuff. This yellow plate, but it looks like it's been covered up somewhat of manipulation right here, halfway down. Right there. It's yellow, and then kind of this gray, texture right there. And there's also something else that's square right there. I don't know if you guys can see that. It has a small dot right there. I don't know what that is. All right. What I also noticed, too, is this funky line. I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but right here along this line, there's also an object under this first arrow right here. But notice how it has almost this rust color here. And underneath this test equipment. What's funny about it is it does this. It appears to do this. Like this is sitting on top of something and it's going like this. Whatever this thing is, you can see it's like, yeah, right there. It's kind of got this piece there. See that? Okay. And what I find interesting about this, not just a red line, reddish, grayish line. What I find interesting is that it has, looks like this cross white piece, going like this, from one side of that area to the other side. From here to this side. See that? And has this piece joining there? How does that work? Here's some other things that have just lines of things that have been covered, but yet they're there. Whatever they are. Whatever they're trying to hide in here. Here's another object I found interesting I marked already. Is this a piece of test equipment? And if it is, why has it completely been manipulated out? And if it's not, then it's hiding in something, or it's sitting on top of something, or it's part of something much larger, and you can see where they've taken it out right here. See this? Whatever that thing is, it's being hidden. See that? Whatever that is. There's something way here in the back. Right over here. If you look at this carefully, you can see what looks like there's a little design in this thing, going up like this, going over and then back down. You got to look carefully, but it is in fact there. Okay? This rock, as I said earlier, has what looks like this object, or this piece here, going like this. Almost appears to be doing this. Of course, I did it kind of sloppy, but you guys get the idea. It has a center going like this. Almost has this kind of spoked kind of look to it, where it's going off like this. Coming up like this, like I said, around. And what they've done is they've taken most of this out so you can't see that. Right there. But have a look at the bottom here. This is what I was telling you earlier about this object here. Or these objects. I'm not sure what to make of this. Okay. You can also see that there's a line right here. And what looks like this crazy either a pattern or something else, like it's part of said whatever this thing is. And also notice this going straight up. It just happens to be one piece. See that? This middle piece right here just happens to be perfectly straight, and it has these weird, either like I said, it's a pattern from the manipulation or it's something else. But whatever that thing is, clearly it's not a rock. Look at this piece coming off of it or going into it, whichever you want to look at it like. This area right here. It appears to have this either piece of steel, wire. See that? Yeah, there's something going like this. And you can see that. But look at the ground that it sits on. It's almost like they completely doctored this. So when you look at this, you don't see this. It almost looks like this is some kind of crashed something, and they're analyzing it. Notice how all the equipment's around it. Now, if I go back to the other photo, you can see this line a little bit. Let me show you the original again. All right, notice right there. Notice you can see it, but it's not very evident unless you really look at this thing and docken it up. See it coming over here? My cursor's very small, so I understand it, but you can see the line going straight across, and you can see it go up and around. But if you back out of this, you wouldn't think nothing of it, because it just looks like what you would think it would look like, just a simple pile of rocks. And I'm not so sure that's the case, guys. See that? And again, look at the equipment. Look where it's all at. Happens to be right around this particular rock. Wait a minute. Do you need all that just for that rock? Or are you looking at other things as well? They weren't here just to look at one simple rock or just the soil. And clearly they're right around this rock, or pretty darn close to it, and other areas too, because as I showed you, there's other things around here, or at least around this equipment. So yeah, there's another thing I want to show you too, because I don't want to skip this. Right here, I don't know if you guys seen this white piece right here appears to go like this and goes up and under this piece here. And it has what looks like almost like this horseshoe-shaped object, or whatever that is, on top of it. You see that? It's like white right there, see it? What do you suppose that is? Yeah. And like I said, guys, just move over to the left. Look at the stuff that's in this photo, man. Look at the way they did this. You can see right here, this airbrushing right here, or whatever they did here. But look at the line. Like this. literally goes right through. Actually, I had just seen this now. Check this out. Let's look at the line a little bit more. It goes up, goes like this. And they look like they did go up and over, because you can see it drop down here. Goes like this here, and then stops there. But look at the objects supposedly under this area. Right there. And again, look at the way this is completely almost covered. See that? You can see it's like this here. Got this smooth elbow kind of thing going down. It's part of supposedly this test equipment, right? Really? Move it to here. And we have these other wild looking things, man. It's just like trying to drag them through this manipulation, but there they are. Look at this. You have something right here. I don't know if you guys can see this. Appears to be some kind of curved piece or going like this. And you can see the very bottom. Has what looks like a small dot, black dot right there. See that? Let me take the lines back off. Look at that. But there's multiple items in this area. And you can see that. Not sure what to make of this lighted colored piece. What do you guys make of that? Like I said, this area here alone, it's like, what? There's like mechanical parts of something jumbled up together. Look at this. This piece way at the top here. Goes down. This is actually supposed to be straight. Appears to curve around. Has this line here. Has this dot. This one here. It looks like multiple dots of some kind of, weird looking shapes. Another one here. What are we looking at here, guys? I'm not sure what to make of that, but clearly it looks mechanical. Something like this piece here. This square in the bottom like I showed you earlier. It looks mechanical. That's the best way I can describe it. You got this, what looks like a rectangular piece here. But again, this may be manipulation because I'm seeing this here going like this. And then we get this other separate piece right here doing that. And it looks like it's a little clearer right here as opposed to this section. See that? And of course you can see like this weird manipulation, like I said, you can go back here. And I can see this looks okay down here on the bottom. Even though I believe a lot of this is manipulated too. But look at the difference between this area on the bottom, right here, and look at this mess up here. Look at this. Really? The ground is not supposed to look like that. Let's just put it that way. All right. Guys, of course, can give me your take on that stuff. Now, let's have a look at these mountains. And it's not what you think it is. Of course, there's a lot of manipulation. And so you can't blast through it all and see everything. But you can make out a couple little small things. Check this out. I'm going to show you what I did here. Just a simple equalize. Okay. Now, started off with that. And you can start to see these little pieces in here. Of course, it's not going to be evident at this moment. But I'm going to do this. I'm going to show you so we don't take up too much time. I'm going to show you the actual pieces here. This piece is up here. This really becomes evident. This is wild. But all we're finding or seeing is the very tip. And I think what they did was they made this look like a hill. They just did an outline to shape over what's already sitting here. You'll see what I mean. Let's jump into that. Okay, check this out. So what I do is I did that, and then I put a little blur into it so it's not too pixelated or grainy. Check this out. Look at this up here. What is going on here that you can see these objects right here? Look at the lines that are in here. Look at this carefully. See this? But look at that. That's wild. Now, check this piece out. There's actually this area here, and you'll see it in a second, becomes evident. that this is the clearest part. Although it doesn't look like that now, doesn't matter. Look at this right here. This is what got me right here, was these pieces sitting right there. Look at the way this thing is designed. Separation right here. And we have these objects sitting right on top. Has it splitting them right there. We've got one over here. And then, of course, we got another one on this side. Now, let's jump into this a little bit more. Okay, you can start to see this a little clearer now. If you notice the way this looked like this here, this supposed line right here almost looks like, hey, wow, that's just a line there. Yeah, but when you bring this thing out, check this out. This is cool. Again, these pieces up here at the top is almost like a total giveaway, and you're going to see this a little bit better. This whole piece seems to pop out pretty good. Okay, keep going. Okay. It almost looks like something is in there, and all we're seeing is bits and pieces. Do you see the actual straight line to this area here? Look at this. You got this curvature piece right about here. Then this does this. Look carefully. You can see the line to it. Comes down. Boom. Nice corner. Comes down. Look at this thing, guys. This is mechanical. This is not a rock or a hill or any of that sort. Now, look at the other pieces that are laying over here. Just happens to have lines here and there. That's just a little grainier. Sharpened up a little bit. I don't know what's going on in here. This piece right here. Not sure what to make of that. Can't make anything else, so I don't make a big deal out of it. This little thing right here appears to be this, I don't know, square object or something sitting right there. Put some color back into this. You can see something right there. I'm not sure what to make of this. And it looks like it's just at the very end is some kind of weird opening or hole or something, like almost like it's a pipe or something, like the end of a pipe. Now, I can't be sure. That might be just nothing but manipulation. Now, check this out. When you come over here, these lines come out. What are we looking at here? Because when you do this, look at the lines. They are, in fact, in the photo. You can see what looks like sectioned off areas. Now, my question would be, is it they sectioned this off piece by piece and then automatically like did their thing to it, meaning they put the texture that they wanted on it. See this? You got these pieces up here going like this. Going up, goes across, comes back down. But this piece here continues on. Why would this be dark right here? Appears to be going up like that. What are we looking at? Let me back up. We got something that's on the bottom here. Got something right here. I'm going to zoom back into this in a second so you guys can see this. Check this out. And I've been saying this for God knows how long. These are not hills. They are templates that they put over it. Or, like I said, I can put anything I want over these things. And guess what? You would not know the difference. Let's just do it right here. Let's suppose for a moment this hill right here. And I'm just going to do a sloppy job. This doesn't have to be perfect. But let's say there's like a structure here. One's a lot taller. Maybe the smaller ones here. You know, structures. Something really large. It doesn't really matter. But all I got to do is go like this. All I got to do is go like this. Come up like this. Draw like this up and over it. Simply fill it in with all kinds of texture. Over here. All the way through it. And I can hide what's really sitting here. Yeah. These are not mountains. They never have been. And if they are hills or mountains, then there's stuff on top of them. It's as simple as that. One of the two is going on here. See that? Look at the objects again. Right here. This especially, because you can see, like I said, there's edge to this thing. You can literally see that in the manipulation. It gets clear. This is blurry right here. Then all of a sudden, boom, this corner. Look how clear the skinnier piece is right here. Like I said, I've been saying this for years because I've seen these things. There's no way that these are mountains. And that's why they look so darn fake when you look at them. You're just going, oh my God, why do these mountains look so fake? Because they're hiding something. These are not mountains at all. There's something they're hiding, and they are. There it is, man. Let me just back out. I'm going to go black and white on this thing. There you go. And they're doing the same thing on Mars, guys. They're taking things that are there and they're making, maybe making them look like buttes or some kind of hillsides or hilltops or whatever they may be. And clearly, they're not. And they started when they started doing these here. Yeah, you can literally see that still in there. I can see it right here. There's a line there. There's a line there. This thing keeps going over to here. And you can see that almost plain as day, guys. You've got these different pieces in here. Oh, my God. Yeah, this is just crazy. See it? You guys tell me what you think. I don't know what to make out of all this. And a lot of it is just, you can see that something's been changed in here. But you're not quite sure what it is. Again, I'm looking at this piece again, man. This looks weird. This almost looks like this round piece right here. See this? Interrupted by that piece sticking up. See that? I'm looking at this thing totally different now, guys. I'm seeing this almost like there's a round piece here. Almost like a square box or something at the top of this right here. Almost looks like there's a round circle. Yeah, what is that shit, guys? Look at this. Made it a little bit darker, and this is what we're coming out with. Look at this. What is those two things right there? Look at this. Yeah. Actually, it looks like it's half round right here. You can see this coming up. I'm going to go through that manipulation right there. Even this one here. And it almost looks like it does that. Like it's rounded. I should have done a little more rounded than that. And like I said, it looks like a half round circle here. And again, look at this box. This is perfect now. The way this looks like this white square or lighter square, because I believe it's like a yellow or gold color. Look how it's half covered right here. You can see the line. This part here is obviously bright. We can see that. And then just below it, look at that. That's crazy. Oh, this stuff's definitely being covered up, guys. There's no doubt. There you go. Sharpen it up a little bit. This should show you this piece a little bit better. This is the step I wanted to show you, and I almost forgot. Check this out. You can see this clear now, at least this piece right here. Look how clear that looks. Pretty darn clear compared to the rest of it right here. It's like from this section here. You can see that. Looks like a piece right here. Okay. But notice right here, this is like almost the clearest piece. Right here. That's crazy, guys. And again, we can see just these objects sitting right in this mountain or this hill. Come on. These pieces right here. Doesn't look like something you should see in a mountain. Let's just put it that way. Or some hill or whatever it may be. They could call it whatever they want for all I care, man. Look at this. You guys be the judge. All right, guys. Tell me what you're seeing here. I'm telling you guys, I've been studying these photos for quite a while. It doesn't matter if it's Apollo 11, Apollo 16 like this one here. They're hiding these things, and they've been doing it from day one. These objects are on the ground. They're not quite all rocks. And I think you guys will agree with that. And whatever's in these back of these mountains or these hills, clearly not mountains. Again, they're like a template. They're just drawing these hills, these shapes of these over anything they want to hide. And they're doing the same thing on Mars with Mount Sharp, making it look like it's the mountain. All you see is the mountain all the time. You know, for all we know, that Mount Sharp is actually a giant city with all structures, and they're just hiding it. So you can't see it in the background. All you see is a bunch of, it looks like hills and buttes. But like I showed you before, like even on Mars with the buttes, they look like they're all lined up like, and I use the analogy like a used car lot, where they're all perfectly lined up and have that sloping front. They almost look all perfect. No, no, no. Mother Nature don't work like that. Now, I'm not saying that rocks can't be carved out, and there's many things on Earth that actually show some wild design by nature, right? Yeah, you got to determine, what looks natural and what doesn't, and it's hard to do that at times, but you can see just by plenty of things in this photo, you can see what looks like all the equipment just happens to be on there on this rock. Now, you might be saying, well, they're checking the rock out. They're going to take samples of it and everything else. Okay, why does it look like some of the things are mechanical? Some of the things going into it, like on the bottom, and you got, it looks like that weird honeycomb kind of thing. Nah. To me, that's a dressed up piece. And like I said, the second you stop burning on top of that rock, it should not turn a greenish blue. It should just turn darker. Because clearly, what is the color of the rock? It's like a whitish or a gray. The second you start to burn that thing to see if there's anything in there underneath that manipulation, it becomes a bluish green. Come on, that's manipulation. You're trying to burn off, and that's what's happening. They got it laid on so thick, it's hard to do that. It's hard to break through it, and that's what we're finding. That's what we're seeing. Anyway, guys, drop your comments down below. Let me know what you think. Please like and share. Always appreciated. You guys know that. And guys, it looks like we're going to have our Friday night, 5 p.m. Eastern Time live hangout. It looks like I'm doing a little bit better with the voice. I think we're good to go. So join us then on the Mars Anomalies channel. That's where you'll find it. So join us there. Anyway, guys, like I said, drop your comments down below. As always, thanks for watching. Always appreciated. And I'll see you in the next one.